Well, it may not look like it because of the low cloud cover, but today's breeze flight from Westchester to Vero Beach will indeed provide what I call the ultimate flight view. And today, my dad is on board to film it.
Here we are aboard Breeze 772, non-stop service from White Plains to Vero Beach, Florida.
But before we get into anything else, you've got to see this amazing deal from my new sponsor. With all the traveling I do, I find myself just sitting for hours on an airplane, and I need a way to make up for that, so I use my Yesol G1M Plus for a regular cardio workout. A breeze to put together, and at a great price point, this is the best stationary bike I've ever had. With so much time spent sitting, this is a great fit for my lifestyle, and using it doesn't take me away from what I need to do. It's all about fun cardio, as this bike features wired multimedia casting, making a typical cardio workout transformed into something enjoyable. I mean, who doesn't enjoy watching Peter Masella's YouTube channel while working out? I know I certainly watch my channel all the time, even when I'm not working out, because the screen rotates 360 degrees, so I can watch the screen when not sitting on the bike. I love having an additional screen in my home in a place where I normally would not have one. What a great feature! Working out and enjoyment go hand in hand with Yesol. As a traveler, I love this feature, which allows me to feel like I'm biking abroad. And when I want to take things very seriously, I just tune into instructor-led courses. I always leave it to the pros to tell me what to do. I'm an expert as an airline passenger, but I'm not an expert trainer. And statistics are always available to me. These are some fantastic metrics that provide me with the right information at the right time. And I'm not the only one who uses Yesol.
Hey, this is Peter Sr. here. I'm using Yesol on a regular basis, and let me tell you, it's working wonders for me as well.
That's right, my dad loves using this product. After all, he also sits on airplanes a lot and needs the cardio workout. I've caught him using my Yesol bike on multiple occasions. He's especially fond of the 4-speaker system and 2 subwoofers for exceptional sound quality. As a viewer of this channel, you can take advantage of my discount code in the description below. It's exceptionally affordable. Imagine watching Netflix or the news or airplane videos while biking or at any angle. What a deal this is. That's right, you heard it. You can get a great discount with my code. You just gotta do it. But for now, let's return to today's video. Let's get right to it this time. We'll listen into ATC once airborne, and the only way to get airborne is to push back onto the ramp once cleared by Westchester ground control. Because today's departure runway will be runway 16, the nose of the aircraft will be positioned so that the plane can taxi northwest in taxiway Alpha, which parallels runway 16. Here's the taxi. Once at the end of taxiway Alpha and with clearance from the tower, the flight can take off. The published departure procedure for runway 16 is listed as follows. Climb on heading 163 to 800 feet. Then, climbing, right turn heading 320. Maintain 3000. Do not exceed 190 knots until established on heading 320. So, once the flight is on a 320-degree heading, the departure controller will provide radar vectors to the south to get to the initial departure fix of White in Ocean County, New Jersey. The pilot will speak to 2 departure controllers. The first handles Westchester traffic and will be during the initial climb, and then the pilot will be handed off to another departure controller that handles LaGuardia departure airspace as this flight will head south. The ideal radar turn will place this aircraft west of the Hudson River for the best Manhattan views, which is why my dad is seated on the left side of the plane. He wants the best views possible, and he wants to share them with you. That's one of the goals of this channel, so if you haven't done so, you're invited to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on how we make routine flights extraordinary. Okay, this flight is all set for takeoff, and once the previous traffic that occupied the runway is clear, Moxie 772 will be issued takeoff clearance. I'll stop talking for the takeoff, but keep in mind all of the things that I mentioned for the climb. I'll be providing air traffic control once the flight checks in with New York Departure Control in the New York TRACON on Long Island. It's time to head to the skies. Did you hear my dad there? He noted a gust of wind and giggled. How awesome. The plane is now in a right-hand turn to 320 degrees, which is nearly a complete U-turn. In the distance, we can see Long Island Sound, and on the other side of the sound is Long Island, where the controller, Moxie 772, is about to speak to, is located. He'll check in at 2,000 feet, an altitude he was assigned likely by the previous controller.
Departure Moxie 772, level 2000, insert.
Moxie 772, New York radar, contact climb, maintain 7,000.
7,000, Moxie 772.
By the time Moxie 772 checked in, he was already level at 2,000 feet, but the controller cleared him up to 7,000 feet. The view here is looking southbound along the eastern side of Lower Westchester County, and this flight will eventually make it to the western side of Lower Westchester County. Once the turn is completed, the plane just flies on the heading until the next turn is issued by the controller. Now, look at those clouds. They look like they're below 7,000 feet, so it would seem at this point that pretty soon the plane would be in whiteout, but that's just for this area. View-wise, things will be improving for some great views, but for now, we can enjoy this very nice view of White Plains, New York, the county seat of Westchester County. White Plains has its own little skyline, with its tallest building reaching 484 feet. It's now time for a left turn and a handoff to the LaGuardia sector controller, but at first another pilot thought the controller was talking to her.
Moxie 772, turn left 270, contact departure 120.4.
That was Delta 877-270.
That was from Moxie 772, heading 270, 120.4.
Moxie 70, 20.4, Moxie 772.
Don't worry about those clouds for now. This flight is turning to the west, 270 degrees, which is good because we don't want to turn to the south or southwest now because we may fly right over Manhattan from this point. That's happened to me before and I was disappointed. On the LaGuardia departure frequency, before Moxie checks in, you're going to hear 2 departures off of LaGuardia that the controller needs to talk to first.
Departure, Brickyard 4496, 15 climbing 5,000, 10 to 6 departure.
4496, New York radar, contact climb, maintain 15,000.
15,000, Brickyard 4496.
United 1358, turn left heading 270.
Left heading 270, United 1358. Departure Moxie 772, is 5.1, climbing 7,000, heading.
Moxie 772, New York, turn left heading 220, maintain 12,000.
220, 12,000, Moxie 772.
We heard the first plane climbing off of LaGuardia's runway 13 on the tennis climb, and a second plane getting a radar vector to the west, and this flight, Moxie 772, is given a heading of 220 degrees, which is perfect because 220 degrees parallels the Hudson River, and the turn will be west enough to be on the Hudson's west bank, providing great New York City views. The climb is restricted to 12,000 feet as usual, which is 1,000 feet below JFK arrivals from the west, flying over New York City while talking to New York Approach Control's JFK sector. The view here is of Lower Westchester County, and the flight will be in and out of the clouds. Don't worry, by the time Manhattan is reached, the clouds will not be there. On this frequency, there will be no more commands for Moxie 772, and the controller talks to other flights, like other flights out of Westchester and departures out of LaGuardia. The controller can also handle Newark departures headed to the northeast and other airplanes passing through this airspace. It's a very robust airspace, with planes basically going in all directions, but Moxie 772 has climbed high enough not to fear with any of the other airplanes in this controller's airspace. The controller will hand this flight off to another departure controller in a few minutes, and that will handle another layer of traffic of planes at higher altitudes. Once on that frequency, the pilot will get clearance to White intersection and then proceed on course all the way along the air routes down to Florida. Let's take a moment to listen to the controller talk to other pilots on this frequency.
Iconic 264, turn right direct park.
Right direct park, Iconic 264.
Brickyard 4496, turn left heading 310.
Heading 310, Brickyard 4496.
Brickyard 5688, turn left heading 310. 310 heading, Brickyard 5688.
Archie Delta 1474, 1700, 5,000.
Delta 1474, New York radar contact, climb and maintain 15,000.
Maintain 15,000, Delta 1474.
Iconic 264, contact departure 120.85.
12085, Iconic 264, see ya.
Set Jet 608, contact New York on 124.07.
4407, see ya, Set Jet 608.
We're looking at Yonkers on the bank of the Hudson and coming up on the Bronx. The dark area in the middle of the screen is the Bronx's Van Cortlandt Park, and the area around it is very dense. After this cloud, we'll begin to see the northernmost part of Manhattan, defined by the Harlem River on its east side and the much wider Hudson River on the west side. The point where the Harlem River reaches the Hudson River is Spuyten Duyvil. From For now, we'll end ATC transmissions here as the controller hands Moxie 772 off to the next departure controller for higher altitude flights.
Moxie 772, contact departure 124.75.
2475, Moxie 772.
It's time for the moment we have been waiting for and the exact reason why a seat was chosen on the left side of the plane for this flight from Westchester to Florida. Enjoy the stunning view. What a view. Around the northern part of Staten Island, the controller cleared this plane directly to white, which means that the flight can fly along the planned route while controllers in the High Altitude Air Route Traffic Control Center follow along. The rest of the flight was rather uneventful in terms of the view as there were clouds the whole way down. There was a major bad weather system off the plane's right side which was present for nearly the entire route of the flight from New Jersey to Florida. Skimming the eastern edge of this system caused some turbulence. I love it. We're going to move forward to the approach and landing. The flight is descending to 6,000 feet and is ready to check in with Palm Beach Approach Control.
Approach Moxie 772, 7,000 descending 6,000, requesting direct Puma, and we have Delta.
Moxie 772, Palm Beach approach, 0 altimeter 2980. Proceed direct to Puma, descend to maintain 2000.
Proceed direct Puma, and descend maintain 2,000, Moxie 772.
Puma is a point on the RNAV approach, and Puma happens to be the point where the straight-in portion of the approach begins. With the weather in the area, I think the pilot on the radio wanted to get to that point instead of the point before it, which is not straight in. Puma is to be crossed at 2,000 feet. Once at Puma, the plane will turn right to a heading of 298 degrees, which is straight into the runway. You can't see it here, but there's a weather cell off to the right side of the plane. Going to Puma keeps the plane away from the bad weather. While proceeding to Puma, another aircraft destined to Vero Beach checked in with Palm Beach Approach Control.
Approach Flexjet 541, passing 8,500, sending 6,000, heading 205 with Charlie.
Flexjet 541, Palm Beach approach, 0 altimeter 2980. I'm sorry, I missed if you had information, Delta.
2980, affirmative, we have Delta, Flexjet 541.
Flexjet 541, roger, expect runway 30 left.
Flex 30 left, Flexjet 541.
A little further down, Moxie 772 got clear for the RNAV approach to runway 30 left, and the controller mentions that direct to Puma keeps the plane about a mile to a mile and a half south of moderate precipitation.
Moxie 772, 11 miles from Puma, cleared RNAV, runway 30 left approach.
Cleared RNAV, runway 30 left approach, Moxie 772.
Moxie 772, direct to Puma, looks like they'll keep you about a mile to a mile and a half south of that moderate precipitation. It's about your 12:30 to 1 o'clock.
Alright, we'll request deviations if necessary, but we're direct Puma right now, Moxie 772.
The controller is now about to issue another clearance to the FlexJet pilot, who doesn't seem to be paying very close attention, as you'll hear. This aircraft will be flying the visual approach to runway 30 left.
FlexJet 541, descend to maintain 3,000, fly heading 120, expected visual approach to runway 30 left.
All right, 12000, and say again the heading for FlexJet 541?
FlexJet 541, 3,000, and heading 120.
Heading 120 down to 3000, FlexJet 541.
Moxie 772 is coming up on Puma and about to start the right turn to the runway. It's now time for the handoff to the control tower at the Vero Beach Airport.
Moxie 772, contact Vero Beach Tower 126.3.
Over to tower, thanks for your help today, Moxie 772.
It'll be a little bit hard to hear, but the pilot is going to check in now with the tower at Vero Beach.
12 to 2000, expect 240, descend 123.62 is the frequency.
Moxie 772, Vero Beach Tower, runway 30 left, clear to land.
Runway 30 left, clear to land, Moxie 772.
After the landing clearance, she has a question.
Are there any reports on the field, Moxie 772?
772 reports what?
Wind shear or anything, Moxie 772?
772, no reports of wind shear, just winds right now are 280, 13, gust 22.
Thank you, Moxie 772.
So it's basically windy. A few minutes ago, it was raining over the airport, but the weather has passed the airport and is offshore now, just off of the plane's right wing. Despite this, she wants to be prepared for a missed approach, so she checks in with the tower to get missed approach instructions just in case of a go-around.
And tower, Moxie 772, are we able to get a alternate missed instruction in the event of a go-around, Moxie?
Moxie 772, missed approach instructions, climb maintain 2000, fly runway heading.
Alright, in the event of a miss, fly runway heading and maintain 2000, Moxie 772, thanks.
She wants to be prepared, just in case. The plane is now approaching the Barrier Island, which runs all along Florida's east coast. The flight path will continue over the Intracoastal Waterway, which is known as the Indian River, and then the aircraft will fly over the mainland for a short period before entering the airport property. The runway heading is at a diagonal to east-west, which is why the aircraft appears to be flying at a diagonal to everything you see down there, which runs north-south, east-west. Continue watching for the landing with 2 camera angles.
Tower, FlexJet 541 will be turning for a 7-mile final, runway 30 left.
FlexJet 541, British Tower, runway 30 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, 30 left, FlexJet 541.
FlexJet 541, wind of the field is, wind is 280 at 12, gust 22.
And Pilatus 3, Lima Foxtrot, number 1, ready to go.
Moxie 772, turn left to Charlie 5, stable, contact ground.
Left Charlie 5, contact ground, Moxie 772.
As Moxie 772 was landing, the FlexJet we heard in approach control checked in for landing clearance, and a Pilatus that we briefly saw on the taxiway next to the beginning of the runway said that he was ready for takeoff. Then, Moxie 772 was told to turn to the left and contact ground control. Here's the communication with ground control.
Ground, Moxie 772, exiting Charlie 5.
Moxie 772, Vero Beach ground, taxi to Charlie across runway 4.
Taxi to Charlie, cross runway 4, Moxie 772.
The instructions are to take taxiway Charlie and cross runway 4 on the way back to the passenger terminal. It's a quick and short taxi to get there. Here's the crossing of runway 4. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I have lots of videos on this channel of this exact flight, and each one is different. This one was one of the more satisfying flights, as the seat selection on the left-hand side of the plane really paid off during the climb. You just never know what the weather will be like or what kind of radar vector the controller will provide to get down south. And the landing was exciting going around that weather cell. Of course, we'll be back with much more exciting content, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. In the meantime, don't forget to take advantage of the amazing deal I have on YesSoul bikes like I showed you at the beginning of this video. There's a link in the description below with my discount code. The price of the bike with my discount code is considerably less than other bikes out there. And don't forget to support this channel on Patreon at patreon.com/Peter Masella. There's a level out there that gets you a shout out right on this channel. Thanks, Simon Weber. Well, it's now time to end this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you very soon.